Hello and welcome to the introduction video for the Listening Path series that I will be doing over the next 6 weeks. The program was written and created by Julia Cameron. You may know her name from The Artist's Way, another popular program that she's created. Each week, I'll be reading from the area that we're focusing on. I'll mention a few of the exercises. I may even mention a few of the quotes that she has. The book, as you can see, has lots of space for making notes, highlighting, annotating. I have a number of different stickers. If this program sounds like it may be of interest to you, you may like to pick up your own copy and follow along. I do like to mention as well, because not every program works for everybody. In this program, 1 week does focus on talking to loved ones who have passed on. Another week involves talking to our heroes. Some of them may no longer be with us. So if that isn't your type of thing, this may not be the program for you. I had initially planned to be working the program as the videos went up, but in early March, I'll be starting the Artist's Way series of videos, so I need to get that read first. So I'll be doing the listening path at a different point. I'm also mentioning that because sometimes life and different things happen. So you may find this program to be of interest and following along, but then for whatever reason, you just can't continue at that time. What I suggest and recommend, because this program is about building self-esteem, self-confidence, tapping into all those sounds and messages in our lives, just put the program aside. And when you're ready to get back to it, you have the choice of whether you want to start back at week number 1 or simply continue on where you left off. My belief is you get the program to work for you in what way works best for you. So it isn't about guilt or feeling bad if you haven't been able to finish it. Again, life happens and there's other things that take priority. If you're meant to get back to the program, you will. There are 3 different tools that Julia recommends using as you're working through this program. The first is morning pages. So each day when you get up, 3 pages of writing. But this isn't about paragraphs or correct spelling or thinking about what you're writing. It's just getting out whatever comes to your mind. Even if that happens to be, I don't know what to write. And those pages are not for anybody else to view. They are just for you. And then a day or whatever later, you can always flip through and see if there's any information that you found to be of benefit. And it's to help you move through the day without all that stuff cluttered in your mind. I'm looking forward to doing the Artist Way again, as well as working through the listening path. And I may try the morning pages again to see if it works different this time, as it's been a number of years. The second tool that I highly recommend is the artist date. With that, you set up something that is fun and enjoyable, and you do it by yourself. You schedule it like you would any other appointment, and you don't cancel it. In other words, making yourself a priority to have a date doing something fun. Whether that's shopping for craft supplies, doing some crafts, listening to music, whatever it is, and schedule it from 20 minutes to an hour, whatever you can fit into your week. And be sure to keep that date with yourself, because your self-care is top priority. In order for us to give fully of ourselves and be present to help others, take care of our homes and our families, we need to first and foremost take care of ourselves. And that's why the artist date is so important. The third tool involved in this program is walking. So twice a week, go out for a walk and don't look at your cell phone. You're out there to just let the thoughts flow, notice what's in your immediate area. For me, it will be going outdoors in my yard. If you've been on my channel for a bit, you know there are different physical issues that I deal with. So I know I can go out in my yard safely. I know where I can walk, and I love just being out there, noticing the different birds and visitors, and of course, hanging out with Lily. Even if you decide not to do the program and it just isn't your thing, which is fine, there are lots of other ways to build up our self esteem, our self worth, our confidence. But I do suggest giving the artist date and the walking a try. I mean, getting out and about is not a bad thing, and making yourself a priority, even if it's only 10 minutes a week, and keeping that appointment with yourself is definitely going to give you some benefit and value. Julia also recommends keeping a journal as you're going through the activities. Now, as I mentioned, there's lots of room in the book, so you may want to do those notes within the book itself and find that that works for you. Again, the important thing with any of these types of programs is to be able to adapt it and make it a fun, stress-free activity that's going to provide you with the most benefit. Because morning pages are 3 handwritten pages, you may want to keep it in something like this. This is what I call a duotang. You have the clips at the back, and you can add and remove pages as you need or want to. Another type of duotang where you could keep your morning pages and your other journals, there's a lot of different styles you can now get, and they have handy flaps in the front. So you may want to keep your morning pages and your weekly activities together in something like that. You could also keep them in a binder. This one has a handy flap, so you could design a nice cover, put something down the side, and then just use dividers inside for part of it for your morning pages, the other part for your weekly activities. Another suggestion, if you decide to do journaling along with the morning pages, is picking up a sketch pad, because some people find it's easier to draw different images and symbols and things, and that's their way of recording. And of course, sketch pads come in so many different sizes and styles, so find something that's going to work for you. Dollar stores and other stores have a huge variety. So again, this isn't about going out to spend a ton of money. It's finding something that's going to work best for you. Other people may prefer to have a completely separate journal versus setting something up in a binder. You can buy these composition notebooks fairly cheap at dollar stores and other stores. They have lined pages, and you could always add and embellish different things into that as well, using stickers, markers, whatever. Again, the big thing is make this fun, make it something you're looking forward to doing. Another type of notebook that may work, and I'm not sure if you can see that because I'm sitting a bit farther from the camera. This says, a certain darkness is needed to see the brightest stars. So you may want to find a type of journal that has a saying on it, or if you get a plain journal, you could even find one of your favorite sayings and glue it onto the front. So this isn't just about listening, it's about letting your fun, creative side come out and play. and making it, like I say, an enjoyable experience for you. So lots of different ideas. Other things that you may want to have on hand are some index cards, either lined or plain. Again, if you want to do different pictures or artwork, or write out some of the sayings so that you can place them around your home. I've used a bit of cardstock that I had around. This says, just for today, don't get angry, don't worry, be grateful, work hard, be kind. Those are the 5 Reiki principles, and I have that hanging in my kitchen, but I also have a number of other sayings and quotes that I want to get started on putting around my house, down here in my craft room, upstairs in my other recording area and writing area, because it just helps to see that visual reminder of things, especially if it's a challenging day. Now, I keep a number of my supplies in this handy move around container. Again, because if you've been here and you've already seen little Tiki, bless her little soul, she's a thief. So I have to be careful where I leave certain things around. I have 2 different sizes of sticky notes. These, again, you could either use for your sayings to put around your house. You can use them in your book to mark certain quotes or different things that you enjoy as you're working through the week. So they're a very handy supply to have on hand. Another supply that you may want to have are the little stick tabs. Again, you can mark where there's a quote or something of importance to you as you're reading. You could also use it in your journal to make note of certain things that have stood out for you. And yes, Tiki has tried to steal this as well, because, like I said, she's a little thief. Another supply you'll want to have on hand are highlighters. I'm finding that I'm really preferring the yellow to highlight because it stands out, not just initially as a bright yellow, but it lasts over time. The colored ones look pretty initially, but they really fade over time, and I find you have to be careful with what color you use because some of them actually make it a bit harder to read down the road. So just a heads up with that. I like a variety of colored pens. Yes, this is part of why I've been labeled the book murderer by Noah, because I do write in my books quite extensively. To me, reading is an interactive activity, and I interact a great deal with my books. But I also use a variety of colors for my other journaling. I just find it makes the work more fun, it pops, and again, find what works for you. I use regular ballpoint Bic pens. I have a lovely set of colored pens, other colored pens, and these fine line markers. So again, picking what's going to make it a fun activity and enjoyable for you. I also have pencils and erasers because, again, for me, doing this type of a program, or if I'm just reading a different book, is a very interactive activity. I enjoy doing things old school, as in handwriting. Now, when it comes to the journaling, you may prefer to do that completely on technology. So, for some people, dictating their notes or typing their notes is an easier way to go. And again, finding what's going to work best for you. For me, I look forward to the journaling using colors. You can use stickers and so many different things to jazz up and brighten up your work. If you're still here and listening, thank you so much. You can let me know in the comments down below with the thumbs up. maybe a cat emoji, because Panther and Tiki do like to check out the comments and see if they've been mentioned for their guest appearances. I look forward to hearing from you in the comment section. If you've decided to follow along with this program, if you found it to be of benefit to you, I'll be actually starting the work on the listening path a few weeks down the road because I need to read The Artist's Way first. But then as I get working the program, I'll be sharing some updates along the way as how I've been finding it. And I have to say, I'm very much looking forward to those artist dates and sharing what I've decided to do with them. Next week, we begin listening to our environment. And until then, be safe, be well, and big hugs.